1 2 1 2 3
I'm Jamie Lisk.
And I'm Stan Hart.
And this is
Films, Unknown, Kool.
And this is our very first episode. And bear with us, we really don't know what we're doing, so...
This is the show where we bring you films that you might not normally have seen or heard of, but we like them, so we're going to talk about them to you.
And we hope you like them too, or hope you maybe get educated on them, or seek them out, or whatever you have to do. But anyways...
So sometimes you need a movie, and you want to see it so bad, you'll do anything to get it. That's what our first movie is all about.
In the case of our first movie that we're going to review, Creeptales, it means going out to a graveyard and digging up a body. And, okay, so it's... What we're talking about here is a movie called Creeptales, and it's... Well, we couldn't really find a lot of information about it, but what we gather, it's a film... anthology. It's a collection of short films pulled together, we think, by a guy named Ken Mandel. And he directed a wraparound for 6 short films, and the wraparound is entitled Halloween Night, and that's where we're going to start, the wraparound. I mean, so anyways, it's Halloween night. A bunch of ghouls, goblins, and freaks get together to watch what else? Creeptales. But of course, nobody actually has a copy of the film. So they make a mad dash down to the local video store to see if they can pick up a copy. And of course, they're closing. And
you know how that is.
Yeah, we all know how that is.
Go home. God, this is
So I want to make a point, though. The guy that is actually running the video store is Bill Peck, who actually was the cop in Honeymoon Horror, but that doesn't really matter. But anyways, of course, the store's closing, so they make a mad dash down to, of course, the graveyard. And under the light of the moon, with shovel in hand, they dig up their old Uncle Munger, who they just happen to bury a copy of the movie with.
He must have liked that movie.
Must be a great movie.
M-U-N-U-C-E-R. Uncle Munger!
So anyways, they take the movie back to their lair, and they rejoice. And they watch it, put it in, and everyone has a great time. Of course, that sets in motion the 6 films that are part of the anthology.
Now I might add, these films, the 6, were shot in the 80s. They're 80s.
Yeah.
Tight jeans,
There's,
big hair.
Yeah, big hair. They always
80s
Stray
movies,
Cats kind of
straight
vibe to it.
Yeah, very
but
put together in what, 2004.
Yeah, by this we think Ken Mandel. We're not really sure, but we're guessing that Ken Mandel shot some extra footage, the wraparound
segment to put these.
Yeah, to put these together into a feature-length film and market it. And that's
each one's different director.
Every one of them is a different director. Some of them have moved on to big Hollywood careers, and some of them haven't. But anyways, let's get back to the very first segment is called Warped, and it's directed by a guy named Roger Nygaard, who he's directing Zoe 101 and stuff now. But anyways, in the very first segment, there's a woman named Elizabeth, and she gets out of an insane asylum, and she goes to stay with her Aunt Viola, played by Frances Marshall, out in the country, and her senile bird-chirping mother, played by Kay Bonner-Nee. Anyways, after a quick trip to the attic, it isn't long before old family grudges and secrets are dredged up, and these are secrets that Viola is intent on preserving. And what happens is it's just mayhem.
you, you Jezebel.
The thing in this one is, you know, who's sane and who's, well, nobody really. Well, maybe that big fat cop.
Yeah,
Biggest cop I've ever
he's
seen.
one of the biggest guys I've ever seen on film.
But everyone else, like, who's insane,
The thing is,
evilly insane, you know?
The thing is, what I liked about it, and the fact that, on top of the fact that it was actually edited in such a way that it's like kind of
very
jumps,
non-linear.
It jumps around. Like, it starts out with the woman being chased down with a pitchfork, and you're like, what?
Flashes back to the
jumps,
Y.
Yeah, it jumps backwards, and it's really interesting. But the thing I liked about it was Frances Marshall. I mean, she's right off the bat. She comes across, and you're watching it, and you're kind of going, like, this chick is crazy, man. She's just psycho. She's got these, you know, wide eyes and just this crazy look about her. But there's an admission later on in the piece. There's a scene in a cop car, a squad car, and there's an admission by Frances. There's a scene that's just heartbreaking, and you're kind of, for me, I don't know, the scene, like, I didn't really, like, it became out of focus. I didn't really like hate her as much. I just kind of felt sorry for her, and it kind of added a dimension to that story that I liked, and I thought it was actually really, really, really good. And anyways, that's what I thought of it.
I just thought it was work, man. It was like crazy people doing crazy stuff,
yeah,
and
exactly.
You know,
I don't know. I
I'm
like
very sure there's that dimension of. I mean, like, did you have that when you watched Psycho?
what
For Norman Bates, you know, it's
yeah, it was.
Did you know, like, did you feel sorry for, or did you just like watching shot girls in the shower? You know, either way you go, you like.
Yeah, I
this
kind
one.
of sympathize.
You know what I mean?
I kind of felt sorry for him because it was obviously this guy with problems, and like it's the same thing with that piece. I mean, like, there's all these problems with this family, and you can see. I mean, it's just a sad story. I mean, it's not like. But anyways, I don't want to get too deep.
Twisted ending.
Yeah, I don't want to get
twisted.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And
okay, what was the next one?
the next one is called I believe it's Snatcher.
Snatcher.
Directed
That's
by Tim.
my favorite one.
Directed by Tim Boxall, who actually did the monster design for Chud. And in this one, it's basically about a thief, a guy with greasy hairdo. His name's Tom Kenny, who some of us might know as
SpongeBob
SquarePants. Yes, he actually is the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. This was in the 80s, you can tell.
when he was a rock and roller.
Yeah, and it's basically what happens is basically Tom Kenny's a thief. He's a purse snatcher. He runs around making a living, basically robbing old women and basically anybody with purses and just belongings. And we see this in a montage, it's really kind of funny montage.
Which is excellent tune.
Yeah, well, what's it called?
Party in the House of
Soul, right? Yeah,
yeah.
it's sung by Tom Kenny.
They tell me what I'm supposed to do, I really cannot take it. A face is staring down at me, you know I'd like to break it. That girl, I think she smiled at me, you know I want to make her. Is this a dream? I heard her scream, she'll love it when I take her to the party in the house of skulls. Come on and party in the house of skulls. There ain't no brains here in the house of skulls. No room for pain here in the house of skulls.
But anyways, everything's going great. You see that he's actually pretty proficient at his job until he runs into this little old lady, played by
And then karma rolls over him.
yeah. I think her name is Renee Gilbert. But anyways, she has this really strange. It's a kind of like a snakeskin
you
bag.
give away the ending if you
I don't want
say
to say it, but
it's the surprise. It's
yeah.
one of those surprise endings.
Yeah, it's really it's actually pretty.
Actually, and this is ironic because I watched this movie and then I knew the story, and I went way back to 1976 Scary Tales comic book, and sure enough, there's the story right there. Exactly, storyboarded, same dialogue and everything. No, wait, you'll be sorry.
Yeah, and like I mean, like I think it's kind of interesting. I'm guessing just from judging the fact that you actually found this comic book that had that story, that most of these are probably
That's
taken
the
from
feel
comic.
I got from the movie.
They're condensed
basically
comics.
it's Creepshow. You
Yeah,
know,
it's just, exactly.
It's EC comic.
But they're not selling it as a creep show. They're not. They don't have the whole.
But they're comic book like stories, you
Yeah.
know, full of karma, you know, bad people.
It's
get
all
bad things.
There is there's this running thing through almost every one of these, and it involves karma. You know, coming back to bite you on the ass. I mean, if you do something
Yeah,
like that,
just
and
like
that's
the old
feel of
DC
these-
comics. Yeah.
So we're gonna jump to the next one, and the next one's called The Closet, and it was directed by Greg Middleton,
Yeah.
and it's basically this little kid named Jeremy. His name is played by Sam Hall, and he thinks he sees something in the closet. It's a really short story, but it's kind of fitting with the piece here, which is set on Halloween night. It's really But anyways, he's in his older brother, sardonic older brother, comes up. He's played by Mark Weatherby. He comes up and he kind of makes fun of him and mocks him until something happens. Something actually comes out of the closet. And
It's the
pretty.
movie Boogeyman.
It's the Boogeyman. Yeah,
The movie Boogeyman, but
it's
condensed.
condensed. You know,
It's like
Boogeyman's
without
stretched
all
out.
they
And,
they took this and stretched
yeah.
out through CGI.
And to be honest with you, it's actually better.
I like
It's
it.
actually
Yeah,
better
yeah,
than
yeah.
the
It's
Boogeyman.
to the point. It's like
You know,
there.
because the
That's
Boogeyman
why-
is, you know, it's like stretched out, and you know, it's a 5-minute thing stretched out to 90 minutes, and it's not that great. But anyways, so that's basically all we have to say about that one. And okay. The next short film in the anthology is called Groovy Garage. Or Ghoulie Garage, or whatever. But anyways, it's directed by James Salisbury, and it's about these two guys, Ed and Marvin, played by Christopher Prestia and Peter Ortell, who are driving to Tower Springs to pick up their sister, or I think their sister. But anyways, they're driving to Tower Springs, and it's not on any of their maps, and they don't really know where it is, so they stop in a local diner, and right away they get a sense that there's something wrong. Anyways, none of the locals are going to help them out, so they head on down the highway looking for Tower Springs. Car breaks down, and that's when they get helped by a man, a mechanic in a clown costume, and he kind of reminds them that it's Halloween night. So they takes their car back to the shop. That's the Groovy Garage, the title, and of course the guy's a really nice guy, and they're all like, you know, we'll have your car fixed in an hour, so you want to head on over to the community center to have a big Halloween dance. But right away, he gets the sense, you know, I think it's Ed that gets the sense that there's something, you know, kind of off about this, because everybody looks like a zombie, and at first you kind of think, you know, it's Halloween night.
Halloween, yeah, exactly.
But then something sets him off. Because
The guy in the garage saying, "I'm not dressed up. I'm
we haven't dressed
Meanwhile,
up yet.
skin's hanging out of his face.
And he's like, you know, there's something really weird going on here. But it does, like, you know, but he just kind of chalks it up, it's Halloween night.
Hey, in the meantime, why don't you boys head down to the Halloween party? Whole town's closed down. Who knows? Maybe you're running a couple good-looking gals. Kaboom, kaboom, you know what I'm saying?
You weren't on the way to the party yourself, sir, were you?
Oh, heck no. I'm not even in my costume yet. Now, I mean, the little lady's going as Mr. and Mrs. Abe Lincoln.
Okay, yeah, you don't mind we went to the party, huh? Boom, kaboom, right, Mr. Gooley?
You learn quick, boy. Hey, looky here. Don't go fighting over it. You look like a couple of monkeys in heat.
Does that mask belong to anyone?
That's Larry's mask. You know Larry. He's going to drop you off. Go ahead. You can have it. He ain't going to use it.
Thanks.
They go to the dance, and basically everything's going.
Pieces start coming together.
Yeah, everything's going right, but then there's something. The Ed guy, I think Ed, starts to realize there's just something really strange going on, because they finds a newspaper, and it basically proclaims that they just landed on the moon, and he's kind of shocked. He's like, that's 15 years ago, but the woman's saying, you know, 3 months.
Couple months, yeah.
Yeah, she's saying it's like 3 months ago, and he's like, what? So essentially just
it's classic ghost story. Classic ghost story, you know.
A few more things
One
start
of
to...
those-
It adds up, and
Yeah.
it's just... it's a... Probably, of all the pieces, of all...
Definitely.
This is my favorite, and this is the only reason I would tell you to go out and get this movie.
Yeah,
watch
just
this.
if you're gonna...
Because it's a really creepy, kind of really got a really great ending to it. It's really creepy. It's really well done. It's got a lot of atmosphere. I like the whole... The guys cutting through the graveyard, the whole spooky,
creepy.
windy, it's dark out, it's cold out. Just that it feels like October when you're watching it. I mean, it just encompasses that whole feeling of Halloween, like, you know what I mean? And
Definitely. And it's a classic, like, you've seen this tale in different forms, but,
yeah, and
you know...
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of
rate it just a little bit, like, it's got really nothing, like, there's no murder or what going on, but kind of remind me of 2000 Maniacs a little bit, in a way.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that, but anyway, like, the thing is, like,
just,
I don't know, like, I seen the end, I knew what was going on, but when I saw the end, when that twist happened, I was kind of...
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's a classic ghost story.
Yeah.
You kind of, if you've ever read a comic book,
and
you know, you'll see it coming, but then they did it so well at the end, like, it wasn't,
was real,
it's like, oh, you know.
Yeah, but another thing about it was, like, when you watch it, it kind of had this whole kind of like a party kind of feel to it. It's kind of funny. The characters are really everybody's really likable.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everybody, they're all really nice people.
I went to school with those guys in the 80s with all the buttons.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I really like the feel of that one. And for me, that's what, if I'm going to pull a movie out on Halloween, it's going to be that, and it's going to be for that story. Okay, so that's that one. And the next story is called
The Werewolf.
The Werewolf, Howling Nightmare.
Yeah.
Howling Nightmare, directed by Steve Heggia. And to be honest with you, I didn't really think it was all that great.
Well, yeah, because you didn't even remember it.
No, I did.
You had to watch the movie again to...
Actually, had to tell me about it, but it's a bit.
It's
about a hunter, right? And it's like a hunter.
Yeah, it's definitely the weakest one of the bunch. But yeah, he's a werewolf, and he turns into a werewolf, and
they're stalking a werewolf.
There's hunters stalking him in the woods, and he sneaks down, kills them.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you the ending.
It kind of got. You can tell it got its inspiration. The guy who made it, from obviously American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, with the dream thing and the.
Yeah, it's just and
and the werewolves were big in the 80s with the Howling and that come out.
Yeah,
and it was an acceptable werewolf, you know. It was
actually kind of funny too. I mean, like the ending is kind of funny. I mean, but it's nothing to recommend. I mean, it's like,
if you like watching squibs go off, it's got a good ending.
But the makeup effects. What do you think of the makeup effects?
The werewolf was passable, and like it was good. It was good in the short glimpses. But then there's one point where they actually show it, and it just looks like too much of a plastic mask.
Yeah.
But it was acceptable. I've seen a lot worse.
I don't know.
It wasn't. What was the one with Debbie Rochon and the full body werewolf suits?
Rage of the Werewolf?
Rage of the Werewolf. Okay.
Kevin Lindenblatt's Rage of the Werewolf. Oh,
it wasn't that bad, but it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that was a good movie. Bad Werewolves. Not. No, I'm not dissing that movie.
There's no budget for that.
That's what I'm saying.
These guys had more budgets, and half these guys are making real movies and stuff. Well, I don't know if this guy is, but anyways, I don't know if Steve Heggie actually did anything else. But we're not going to talk about that anymore, are we?
It was filled the 5 minutes or 10
filled the 5 minutes. It got the whole werewolf thing in there.
Didn't disappoint me, but it wasn't exciting.
The
probably should have been the third one. They should have had the other one after.
Think so? No.
You don't.
I don't know what. I think Sucker, the last one, is actually a good way to end it because it kind of got the whole karma thing right there. I mean, it's right there.
That was the big karma thing.
Yeah, and it's like it's directed by Rod Slane, and it's about a woman, Donna Duffy, I think her name is, played by Melanie Fry, who's kind of like gluttonous, slovenly kind of woman. She's like the middle-aged housewife.
She don't like her life. But she blames it on her husband.
Yeah, and basically what happens is she's visited in the middle of the night by this salesman, a vacuum cleaner salesman, and he is selling a product that it's like a vacuum cleaner, of course, just like that, and he promises that it'll suck everything clean.
A brush salesman at midnight? I ought to kick your...
Ma'am, I'm going to give you the chance to clean up your life.
Ta-da! This, Mrs. Duffy, is the dirt demon. But I just call it the sucker. I don't need no dang sucker. You're the sucker if you think... I think you're a pig, Mrs. Duffy. Now you just listen to me. And your home is a pig sty. Mr. Broom, you just don't understand the conditions I live under. My husband done all this. He's the pig. He ruined my home. Ruined my life. Roy Duffy just lives to make my life miserable.
But the problem is that he has a couple of rules, and you like don't point at anything, anybody, and what's the other one? Don't use it after midnight or something.
No, you can only use it for so many seconds.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what we soon discovered is
and
that
it's miraculous. It's like this little dust devil. You point it and pshing the whole because their house is a pigsty and.
Yeah, and it cleans it up.
Just like that.
But
no bag or nothing, though. That's what it is.
That's the
Where does
thing.
all the bad stuff go?
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of wondering.
And so she's cleaning the house. And
but as and she's always complaining about her husband.
Yeah.
And her husband's just really this kind of like.
Meanwhile, he's this guy. Where is he? He's just
really
afraid
passive.
to go home.
Yeah, he's really
He's
passive.
out there with his buddy.
Yeah. So what happens is like you start noticing that she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're going, oh, I get where the bag is.
Yeah,
it's her, and she's sucking up all the evils in her life. And like I said, I don't want to tell you how it ends, but it's like banging you over the head with the whole karma thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, you know, maybe she's the one that needs to be cleaned up.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the whole.
She's dying to point that at her husband.
Yeah, and like it's, I don't know, it was good. It was good, but it wasn't like one of my favorites. But it was okay, and when she goes to use it on her husband, I don't really want to kill Lady Annie, but you kind of see that the thing was about her. The whole time it was all about her. It wasn't, and the salesman who's kind of got this. What was his name?
I can't remember.
Who played him? I mean, I just screwed up there. So, but I don't know. But anyways, that's the last. That's the end of it. I mean.
Well, pretty much, and then they go back to the ghouls there and wrap up.
Yeah, they do the wrap around, and there again you get hit. Once again, you get hit over the head with the whole karma thing because the message from this film apparently is that you don't dig up dead bodies.
No,
to get the tapes inside their caskets.
Steal tapes.
Yeah,
dead people.
Because they will come back to literally bite you on the ass. In this case, it's literally, and that was our.
Yeah.
That was our.
But where do we get it? Oh shit.
We gotta talk about where we get it.
Yeah.
Where do you get this movie? You're gonna ask, where do you get it? Where do you get it? You can find old copies on eBay, but the place we recommend is Night Chill's box set. It's a 10-movie box set, and it's one of the movies in it. And I swear to God, if you're gonna buy the box set, buy it for that.
Yeah. Well, it's worth. What do you pay? I think I paid $20 for this or something.
And
10 movies, $2 a movie, and then there's oodles of cool movies on here.
And we'll put up the website.
Slashdance.
Yeah, we'll put up the website, and Birds of Prey's on there too. Put up the website, and you guys can find it, seek it out yourself.
Amazon, and every place has it.
Yeah, everybody has it. So anyways, that's where we're recommending it. You'll have a hard time finding the comic book. But anyways, that's it. That's our first show, and we hope you enjoyed it.
See you next time.
We out.
At the party, in the house of skulls, the burning party.